Hey everyone, I'm Keely, pelvic floor physical therapist and owner of Keytex Physical Therapy. Today we're talking about something that affects literally every woman who goes through menopause, but somehow no one is talking about it. How perimenopause and menopause completely change your pelvic floor. If you're in your 40s or 50s and suddenly dealing with leaking when you never did before, or feeling heaviness or pressure in your pelvis, or maybe intimacy is suddenly painful, you're not alone, you're not broken, and there are solutions. By the end of this video, you are going to understand exactly what's happening to your pelvic floor during this transition, why it's happening, and what you can actually do about it. So let's dive in. First, let's talk about what perimenopause and menopause actually do to your pelvic floor tissue. Estrogen is a key role or key player here with your pelvic floor tissue. The muscles, the connective tissue, the vaginal tissue, the urethra, all of that has estrogen receptors. This means that the tissues rely on estrogen to stay healthy, strong, and elastic. When estrogen starts declining in perimenopause, which can happen in your early 40s or even late 30s for some women, that drops significantly then it significantly drops in menopause. Here's what happens. The vaginal tissue gets thinner, drier, less elastic. Estrogen helps maintain collagen in your connective tissue. When estrogen drops, you lose collagen. This means that ligaments and fascia that support your pelvic organs becomes less supportive. This is why prolapse risk increases significantly after menopause. Your pelvic floor muscles tend to lose tone and coordination, not because you're weak or because you're doing something wrong, but because the hormonal support they had is now gone. Let's talk about symptoms that worsen during this transition that people often don't realize are pelvic floor related. One of the most common struggles we see is stress urinary incontinence. This is leaking with coughing, sneezing, laughing, jumping, or running. You might have never leaked in your life, and suddenly perimenopause, you are crossing your legs when you sneeze, or suddenly feeling the need to pee all the time, waking up multiple times at night, feeling like you can't make it to the bathroom fast enough. This is urge incontinence. Another symptom is painful intimacy. This is a big one. Vaginal dryness, the most obvious symptom, but it goes deeper than that. The vaginal tissue is thinner, less elastic, and more prone to tearing, along with the pelvic floor tension that can cause discomfort. Pelvic organ prolapse or worsening prolapse, another common symptom. That feeling of heaviness or pressure or bulge in the vagina, feeling like something is falling out. This is very common, but totally treatable. Here's what's frustrating, is that women can go to their doctors with these symptoms and they're told that it's just a part of aging or do some Kegels, but they never get to the root cause completely. So what can we actually do about this? If you are experiencing vaginal dryness, painful sex, urgency, frequency, or recurrent UTIs, talk to your doctor about vaginal estrogen. Now, vaginal estrogen can restore tissue health, improve elasticity, reduces pain with sex, and can significantly improve urinary symptoms. Pelvic floor therapy, but the kind that actually gets you better. Here's the thing, is that not all pelvic floor physical therapy is the same. Make sure that you find a pelvic floor therapist who goes beyond Kegel-based care. You might not need to strengthen your pelvic floor. In fact, there are a lot of women in perimenopause and menopause have pelvic floor issues or pelvic floor tension in their muscles, and the issue is that the things are too tight but not too weak. Doing more Kegels in that situation can make things worse. Again, this is not a one-size-fits-all thing. You need individualized assessment and treatment. So let's talk about what doesn't work, because there is a lot of misinformation out there. Going back to Kegels, just doing Kegels without assessment, Kegels are not a universal solution. If your pelvic floor is already tight, more Kegels will likely make your symptoms worse. If you have prolapse and you're doing Kegels in a bearing down position, then you're potentially making things worse. You need to get assessed first. Ignoring symptoms and hoping that they go away, pelvic floor symptoms and menopause don't typically improve on their own. The tissue changes are progressive, and without intervention, things will not improve. Vaginal estrogen, pelvic floor PT, and lifestyle modifications can prevent the worsening and often significantly improve symptoms, but you have to actually address it. If you are experiencing any of these symptoms, find a provider who takes you seriously. Find a pelvic floor physical therapist who specializes in perimenopause and menopause. Find a gynecologist or a menopause specialist that will potentially prescribe some vaginal estrogen if that is appropriate. You deserve to move through this life stage feeling strong, capable, and comfortable in your own body. If you found this video helpful, please share it with the women in your life who need to hear this. And if you are local to the Round Rock, Texas area, check out Keytex Physical Therapy. This is exactly what I specialize here. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.